Hello my keto peeps, it's Samaya and welcome back to my channel, I Don't Sugarcoat. It is the end of my 61st week of keto, and so I'm gonna take you through my week, letting you know what I ate, what's going on. So let's get started. Okay, you guys, so before we get started, let me just say, today is Sunday, and I totally wanted to have this video uploaded today and ready for you guys to view. But when I recorded this video yesterday, I didn't have my mic, so there was no audio for the video. I was so upset about that, you guys. So now here I am doing it again on Sunday. So I'm just gonna take you through last Sunday to yesterday and tell you guys what went on. So last Sunday, let's see. Okay, last Sunday's meal was fajitas. I know I've been eating that a lot, but it's just kind of my thing right now. I've just really been enjoying them. So I had fajitas last Sunday, and I had it with some cauliflower rice, and I had some strawberry rebel ice cream to help with my fat count. I had a boiled egg, and I actually had that egg before my meal. I was feeling really hungry that day, and I was still cooking when my eating window came, so I just felt like I really needed to eat something right at that moment. So I just had a boiled egg while I was waiting for my dinner to finish. And so I also had some raw unsalted pumpkin seeds. I was out of pecans, and that is something else that I tend to eat when I don't have pecans. And I also had a protein cookie by Quest, and I know that seems kind of like a lot of sweet stuff, you know, to have the ice cream and then to have the protein cookies, and truthfully it was like, I really felt like, oh my gosh, I just had too much sweets, and that kind of ended my craving for sweet things, like overly craving sweet things. Like once I had started eating that cookie, I was like, okay, this is too much. And not to mention, I haven't had one of those cookies in a while. So when I was eating it, I realized that I don't quite like it as much as I used to. Like the flavor wasn't the same. And now that I've gotten much better with keto cooking and understanding some of the science behind cooking, I kind of prefer the stuff that I make. So my chocolate chip recipe that I make, I feel is better to me than the Protein Quest cookie. That's just my personal taste. I'm not saying that it's better. I don't think I'm going on record saying my recipe is better. I'm just saying for my taste buds, it's better to me. So I bought a whole big box of that, you guys. It had like 12 cookies in it, and I don't know if I'll be able to even eat those. Like even my husband didn't enjoy them anymore, and we used to really enjoy them in the beginning, and now it's like not so much. Even he said that he prefers the cookies that I make compared to those. So I don't know. You might see that in my meals every once in a blue moon, just because I do have it. I did buy it, and I don't want to let it go to waste. So I don't know. Maybe I'll eat them, maybe I won't. Maybe I can trick my kids into eating them. I don't know. Okay, so my numbers for that day was 20 net carbs of 20 grams of net carbs. Sorry guys. 103 grams of fat and 95 grams of protein. Okay. Monday. Okay, so Monday I had breakfast for dinner, guys. I had a protein waffle, and I made that with this protein mix. I can't call the name of it right now. And you know what? It might be Quest. I think that's what it is. I think it's Quest. It's like a multi-purpose mix. And I have that, and I also have the cinnamon crunch protein mix, and I like to use those two for making waffles. They're totally awesome. But I had a protein waffle, a big Belgian protein waffle. I had 3 strips of bacon, 2 sausage patties, a serving of oven roasted Brussels sprouts, and then I had some Walden Farms maple syrup for it. And to help with my fat count, I had a serving of roasted cashews. I don't get to eat cashews as often as I want, and I really love cashews, but cashews are so high in carbs. And so that's why I kind of do love putting the cashew flour into recipes, because it breaks it down and makes it sort of smaller servings. And, you know, but I really do love cashews. So I try to eat them when I can, but I don't get to eat them that often. But this was a day where I was able to squeeze it in. So I was really happy about that. I didn't end up eating all my food that day. It was a lot to eat. So I only end up eating 3/4 of my waffle that day. And I ate about 1 1/3 of the sausage patties. I did eat all the bacon. I ate all my eggs, all my Brussels sprouts, because I have to finish all my vegetables. That is a must. I always try to finish my vegetables. And so my numbers for that day was 14 grams of net carbs, 96 grams of fat, and 74 grams of protein. Okay, Tuesday. Tuesday, you guys, I had fajitas again. I know, I'm not even gonna say it. Yeah, but I had fajitas again. The only difference on Tuesday was I added 3 of my lupin flour tortillas, and I just kind of put it all together, you guys. I had the tortillas, I put the meat on it with the onions and peppers and some of the cauliflower rice that was seasoned with my taco seasoning. And then I put some sour cream on it, you guys. It was so good. Like, it was so good. And I was so full after eating those. Like, they were so amazing. And I made this really delicious chocolate chip cookie skillet. It was a recipe that I saw on Facebook, and I wanted to give it a try, and it turned out really great. I did make some changes to the recipe. I think the lady that created it, she used sesame seed flour, and I'm pretty certain that's kind of high in carbs. So I remember whatever flour it was she used, and I believe it was sesame seed, it was high in carbs, and I was like, I can't do that. And so I know I could have substituted it for almond flour, but I ended up doing a blend of cashew flour, lupin flour, and coconut flour. And you guys, it was so delicious. It was so delicious, you guys. It came out so perfect. So I had that to help with my fat count that day. And so my numbers for that day were 22 grams of net carbs, 76 grams of fat, and 79 grams of protein. Not my best numbers, you guys, but I really wanted that meal that day. Like, I wanted it so bad. And I wish I could say that I didn't finish my meal that day, but no, I did. So, you know. Okay, so Wednesday, oh my God, you guys, Wednesday, okay. I have been working on my pasta recipe, and if you follow me, if you are like in my group, or you follow my Instagram or my Facebook page, you'll get to see like things that I'm working on. And one of the things that I've been working on is my pasta recipe. And the reason why I haven't published that recipe just yet is just because I'm working on some kinks, you know, trying to figure some things out. One of the things being that for the first few weeks I was working on it, I kept trying to get my recipe to mimic the texture of regular dried pasta. And it wasn't until a few weeks later that it dawned on me that it's not gonna be the same texture. Fresh pasta and dried pasta are 2 totally separate different things. They're not gonna have the same texture. And so once I realized that, I was like, okay, now that I know that, I started to change things up a little bit, started to play around with things. One of the other things that I know is fresh pasta, it doesn't do well with certain sauces, like meat sauces or red sauces, or like a macaroni and cheese sauce. So I decided that I needed to figure out a way to be able to use my noodle recipe for those types of things. So this particular day I was toying around with my pasta recipe because I had just got some attachments, the pasta attachments for my KitchenAid stand mixer, and I wanted to try those out. And you guys, I love those attachments. I don't know why I didn't purchase them before, so I'm so happy I got them now. It totally rolled my dough out so flat and beautifully. It was so amazing. So I took my dough, you guys, and made raviolis, and they were delicious, guys. They were really delicious. And I stuffed them with mascarpone cheese and mushrooms, and it had like some mozzarella cheese in it with a little bit of garlic. You guys, it was delicious. And I topped it with some Alfredo sauce. I didn't make that myself just because, you know, heavy whipping cream, you know, has more carbs than you might think. And so when I ran the numbers for it, the store-bought sauce ended up having just a little bit less carbs per serving. So it had like 2 grams of net carbs per 1/4 of a cup. So I just decided to go with that for the recipe. And it turned out great. They were really delicious, you guys. So I was really pleased with that. And I had it with some of my keto sourdough bread, which is another thing I'm working on, you guys. Sourdough. It took me a little while, but I have totally been successful at creating sourdough, you guys. Oh my God, it has been a struggle, and I don't really want to go into too much details right now for this video, but you know, trying to create the starter and then later working on the actual dough recipe, it was a lot of work, but I finally did it, you guys. I was finally successful, and I baked some bread, and they came out fantastic, you guys, and they tasted delicious. So on this particular day, I cut up 2 slices off of one of the loaves, and I made some garlic bread with it, and I put some, you know, some garlic butter on it that I bought from the store, and it was fantastic. And I also had some leftover beef flank steak with it. It was a little bit of a weird meal, but it was totally delicious though, you guys. I totally loved it. I loved every bite of it. And to help with my fat count that day, I had some of my chocolate chip cookie skillet, and need I say more? I already told you how much I love that. And my numbers for that day was 14 grams net carbs, 92 grams fat, and 80 grams protein. Okay, Thursday guys. Okay, so Thursday I had another first. I made this zucchini and yellow squash saute. Now I've had zucchini noodles before, but I don't really remember what they tasted like. I had it in like an Alfredo sauce, and I don't really remember anything distinctive about it, so I can't really tell you what they tasted like then. So I decided to just go ahead and give this a try. I took the squash and the zucchini, I cut them up, and I cooked them with some mushrooms and onions and a little bit of garlic, and you guys, it came out fantastic. It was really delicious. And then I had it with, so that day I was playing around with my pasta recipe again, and I made macaroni and cheese. And I will say that in order to do that recipe, I had to make the noodles and stick them in the dehydrator and let them dehydrate. But I think I let them dehydrate too long. So I dehydrated them for like 6 hours. And when I went to cook them, and I cooked them for about the regular time you would cook a dry noodle, 10 minutes, and I put them in the sauce, I realized the noodles were still too hard. So I knew I was gonna be baking them in the oven, so I figured they would get nice and tender in the oven. And while they did get softer, they didn't get to the texture that I wanted them to be. So I think the next time I try to make macaroni pasta, I'm going to only dehydrate for about half that time, for about 3 hours, and then I will try it again and see how it comes out. But the sauce for it was great. Everything about it tasted great. I just wanted the texture to be a little bit softer. So that will be a recipe, hopefully, that will be coming soon. I can't say when, but I'm hoping soon, you guys. And so I also had some T-bone steak. I had about 5.5 ounces of that. And to help with my fat count that day, I had 1 ounce of pecans and then 1 cup of strawberry rebel ice cream. My numbers for that day was 18 grams of net carb, 101 grams of fat, and 80 grams of protein. Friday, you guys, Friday, I had something that was fajita-ish. It wasn't all the way fajita, but it was fajita-ish. I did, you know, put it on the fajita skillet. I had onions and mushrooms, and I had the beef flank steak, but it was beef skirt steak, but it was seasoned differently. It wasn't seasoned with like my fajita season. It was seasoned differently. And I topped it with some mozzarella cheese, you guys, and it was totally delicious. I had that with some cauliflower rice, and I had 1 piece of my sourdough bread with some garlic butter on it, and it was just really delicious, you guys. I really enjoyed that meal that day. And so I had my chocolate chip skillet to help with my fat count, and I had 2 ounces of pecans that day because my meal was pretty lean, so I needed extra fat, so I had 2 ounces of pecans that day. And my numbers were 18 grams of net carbs, 97 grams of fat, and 83 grams of protein. And then yesterday, guys, I still had some beef flank steak left in the refrigerator because I've been eating fajitas all week, you guys. So I really wasn't in the mood to cook anything, but I also didn't want fajitas again. So I just decided to take the meat, I cut it up into strips, and I turned it into a beef stir fry, you guys. And I just added some onions and mushrooms and a little bit of garlic, and it was delicious. It really was. And I had that with some sourdough garlic bread. And to help with my fat count, I had a cup of butter pecan Keto Rebel ice cream. It's not my favorite flavor of theirs, but you know, I didn't have anything prepared, so I just bought that one. I pretty much like the chocolate, the strawberry, and the vanilla flavor the best, but I do like butter pecan ice cream, but this is just, it doesn't quite remind me of butter pecan ice cream as I remember it. So it's not my fave, but it's something that's doable. And that day I also had 2 ounces, 2 ounces of pecans because I needed help with my fat count that day. My numbers were 17 grams of net carbs, 106 grams of fat, and 77 grams of protein. And so that's what my food was like this week. So let's go into my weight, guys. So my weight this week was up and down this week. Let's see, what date should I, okay. Okay, so on the 22nd, I was 226.4. Do you know the first time I filmed this video yesterday, I said the same thing. I looked at the numbers and I said 26. Like, I'm not 26 pounds. Okay, I was 226.4. And the day before that was Saturday, so I weighed the same thing. So on that Sunday, I did not have any change in my weight, and I was okay with that because I wasn't up. And then on the 24th, even though I didn't record it in my records, I was the same weight that day. I remember that. I was the same weight that day. So I had 4 days of being the same weight. I didn't lose anything. I didn't gain anything. I was the same weight, which made me a little bit concerned when day 4 came and I was still the same weight. And then the 25th came and I was 227.8. So I had jumped up 1 pound and 4 ounces. So I was really concerned then. And then on the 26th, I was 228 even. So like, I'm totally thinking like, what's going on with my weight? Why am I going up? And on the 27th, I did go down a little bit. I was 227.6, but that didn't really make me happy because I was still over what my lowest point had been. And on the 28th, I was 227.6 again. So once again, I'm just maintaining, I'm not losing. The 29th, I was 226.8. Well, yesterday I was 226.8. So what I think is going on with my weight right now, you guys, one of the things that happened this week is, and I've told you guys about this before, I'm not a regular goer. Like I don't do number 2 regularly. And so I realized that that was something I hadn't done in a while. So that was weight that I was holding on to. And because I could not, I honestly could not remember the last time that I had went, I took a laxative so that way I could like flush my system because I could not remember the last time I went. And so I need to do better about, you know, remembering to pay attention to that. Like it doesn't happen often that I don't remember, but sometimes when I get busy, I just don't remember to pay attention to, you know, my body functions like that. So after I, you know, took the laxative or whatever, and also, you know, my stomach did feel better afterwards. So even though I, you know, needed to do that, my weight still wasn't doing what I normally see it doing. So I've been here before, and it usually happens like every 2 months. I get to a place where I'm kind of plateauing and I'm not losing weight. I'm just kind of maintaining. And so when that happens, I know I need to do one of 2 things, you guys. Either I need to readjust my numbers, because after I lose so much weight, I usually readjust my numbers after I lose like 30 pounds. And I mean like readjusting my macros and readjusting how much fat and protein I take in. Now this past week I did take in more protein than what I normally would, but I also just readjusted my numbers, and I'm not due to do that again until I reach 205 pounds. So I think what I need to do is I need to adjust my fasting window. And so sometimes my body gets used to me fasting for long periods of time because I usually fast for 21 to 23 hours every day. And so I get to a point where my body gets used to that. And so I have to shake things up. And so when that happens, I will change my eating window from 5 to 8 to 12 to 8. So then I go from a 23-hour fast to a 16-hour fast with an 8-hour eating window. And in that time, I will have 2 small meals, and then that usually helps. So like I will do that for about a week or 2, or until I notice that I'm starting to lose weight again. Once I start to see that I'm losing weight again, then I know that it's okay for me to go back to doing OMAD. So that's what I'm gonna do starting tomorrow. I'm going to change my eating window, and I'm going to have a small meal at 12 o'clock, and then I will have my next meal at 5 o'clock. And so I don't really like doing that just because I feel like it's much harder for me to plan my meals because I have to break them up into 2 small meals. And so it just feels harder to me to do that, and it always seems like an inconvenience, you guys. But I'm gonna do that for the next couple weeks until I start to lose weight again, and then everything will be back in rotation. I'm also probably gonna start drinking my apple cider vinegar again because apple cider vinegar lemonade, I should say. I'm probably gonna start drinking that again because that also helps, you know, kind of jumpstart me with losing weight again. So I'm probably gonna start that up again this week. Let's see, is there anything else I feel like I need to share? Well, I have started wearing a waist trainer, you guys, and the one I have, I'm actually wearing it right now. It's like a vest. I pull it on, I zip it up. It's pretty comfortable. I mean, not completely comfortable because, you know, it is compressing my stomach, but it's not uncomfortable, and I'm able to wear it for you know, a few hours at a time. So I try to do that every day, or at least every other day. Like, I think since I've had it, I've probably worn it 5 days a week. And so I'm hoping that that's gonna help with my belly fat and help bring my waist in some. I can't say for certain, but you know, I'm willing to try anything at least once. So that's what I'm doing there. Also, let's see, what else do I need to update you guys on? Oh, I got my other camera. I'm actually recording this video on the second camera that I purchased. So soon you will be getting videos from me that will have dual views. You know, sometimes you just say something and it just sounds so funny or sounds wrong, even though it's right, it sounds wrong. But anyway, so I actually made a video just a little bit ago that I'm going to be posting along with this video, and I use both cameras, but I don't have my C stand just yet, and that's just a piece of equipment that will be able to have my camera up above me and filming down below to my surface, to my work area. So I don't have that yet. It'll actually be arriving tomorrow. But what I did was I put it on a tripod and I stuck it in front of me so you guys can get a little bit of a closer view of the food. So you will get to have in that video 2 different viewpoints, 2 different advantage points, but it's not what I'm going for. So soon you will get the better advantage points that I want to offer you. And I really haven't been doing many videos, like things that I really want to share. I haven't been doing those videos just yet because I feel like you will benefit more from having the different viewpoints of having, you know, the camera in front of me and the camera from up top looking down below. So once I get my stuff set up and looking great, then I will begin to record videos like that and bring those types of videos to you guys. And I can't wait because I've got some exciting stuff I want to share. The sourdough recipe, the pasta recipe, like all kinds of things that I want to share with you guys. So I can't wait to get it all set up and working so I can bring those types of videos to you guys. Let me see, is there anything else that I need to share? I feel like there's something else that I wanted to share, and when I recorded it the first time I did remember what it was, but I don't remember what it is right now, and I'm totally gonna kick myself because I know every time I do this I remember things later and then I'm like, dang it. So I know I'm probably gonna remember it later. Let's see. Oh shucks, I can't remember what it was I wanted to share. But anyway, you guys, oh, I do remember. Oh, you guys, okay. So I just wanted to say, I have reached 200 subscribers, you guys, and I'm so excited about that. It's just totally awesome. It's just totally blowing my mind. I think the last time I checked, I was at like 208 subscribers, and my channel has been out here for 5 weeks now, and so I'm so happy with those numbers, just because it's more than I thought I would have, you guys. And you guys have been so awesome and so great and so nice and so supportive. You've been sending me your love and leaving me just awesome comments, or just sending me amazing personal messages. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for just supporting me and appreciating the recipes that I'm putting out here for you guys. I can't help but to say thank you. Like, it means so much to me that each and every one of you are here. So just know that I love you, I appreciate you, and I'm gonna keep bringing you guys recipes and content that I hope will help you, be beneficial to you, and I'll keep sharing as much as I can, as much as you guys want to hear it. So just thank you, you guys, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And I think that's gonna be it for this video. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, click that subscribe button, and don't forget to click that little bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video. And until next time, you guys, bye.